Stop looking at the guy in the suit. In Africa, the man in the suit is usually in debt. If you want to find real money, look for the guy with the stained jumpsuit and the loud, ugly truck. He's a silent mover, and he thrives in sectors that make you want to wash your hands just by looking at them. Today, we're exposing 15 ugliest businesses in Africa. But this isn't just a top 10 list. It's a journey through grit, the smell, and the pride tax. The invisible fee you pay every month because you are too educated to get your hands dirty. Now, no long talks. Let's get started with a business that feels like a crime scene but pays like a tech startup. Pest control and fumigation at number 1. Now imagine walking into a room and the floor moves. That's your Tuesday morning. Fumigation is the gateway to ugly wealth. It's a sensory overload of toxic smells and crawling shadows. But here's something you do not know. You aren't a cleaner. You are specialized machinery. While other businesses beg for customers, you get panic calls early in the morning. When someone finds bed bugs, they don't negotiate, they just pay. When they find slugs all around the house, when snakes and rats and all those things are moving around the house, they don't negotiate, they pay. The chemicals cost pennies, but the peace of mind you sell, that costs a premium. But wait, cockroaches are small. What if your product is a 20-ton mountain of rotten domestic waste? It takes us to number 2, waste collection, the subscription of filth. Most people think trash is a government problem. The wealthy know it's a private gold mine. In cities like Lagos, Nairobi or Accra, waste collection is a subscription. You don't have to sell anything. People create your inventory every time they cook or clean. Don't just be a garbage man. If you dump it, you are a laborer. If you are a material recovery strategist, you are a millionaire. You sort the PET bottles and aluminium before the truck even stops. You are getting paid by the house and by the factory. Speaking of things people want to get rid of, there is one waste product that is so ugly, people will pay you a fortune just to make it disappear before the neighbor smells it. Number 3, sewage and septic tank evacuation, the soccer gold mine. Let's be real, this is as ugly as it gets. You are vacuuming human waste. But here's why the silent movers love this. The barrier to entry is disgust. 99% of your friends are too proud to own a soccer truck. That means you and the other 1% who own them can charge whatever you want. In 2026, we aren't just dumping these anymore. We are seeing waste-to-energy setups where the sludge is being turned into organic fertilizer and cooking gas. You are literally turning poo into power. But what if you don't have the thousands of dollars for a truck? What if you wanted to start a business with just a bucket, a soap, and a bottle of bleach, and maybe a key? Public toilet management at number 4. The Dignity Toll Gate. Managing a public toilet in a busy market is the ultimate ugly cash cow. It's high volume, low intellect, and 100% cash based. Don't look at it as toilet. Look at it as a toll gate. Every human in the market is a customer. If you keep it clean, they will walk past 5 competitors just to use yours. You are collecting a tax on the most basic human need. But life isn't all about markets and toilets. Sometimes the ugly business is a silent somber one that never goes out of style. Number 5, funeral services, the recession-proof giant. Death is uncomfortable, but it's the only industry with a guaranteed 100% market share. While tech companies are pivoting and scaling, the funeral director is just busy. People will save money on their weddings, but they will take a loan for a funeral. It's guilt-proof. If you provide a respectful one-stop shop from casket to ambulance, you aren't just a businessman, you are a community pillar. And if you can offer mortuary services, why not? But if you think mortuary is bloody, you haven't stepped into the heart of the city's food chain. Number 6, abattoirs, the waste to wealth masterclass. An abattoir is a secondary assault. Blood, noise and heat. But stop looking at the meat. The meat is for the amateurs. The millionaires in the abattoir are the ones buying the trash. The bones, they get crushed for calcium in animal feed. The blood, they get dried for fertilizer. The hooves, they get processed for industrial glue. If you can handle the sight of blood, you can find wealth in things everyone else throws away. Let's get to number 7. Fish smoking, the preservation king. Now you are hot, you are covered in soot, and you smell like a salty grill for 3 days after you leave your shop. It is fiscally punishing work. But why is the smoked fish seller driving a luxury SUV? Have you thought of that? Because fresh fish is a depreciating asset. It rots. Smoked fish is a stored asset. By smoking the fish, you control the price. You don't have to sell today. You can wait until the market is dry and the price triples. From here, let's move to a crop that smells like a vinegar factory but generates billions in industrial starch. I'm talking about number 8, cassava processing, the fermentation empire. Most people see a cassava root and think gari or fufu for dinner. The silent millionaires see industrial starch and ethanol. Processing cassava is ugly because it involves massive amount of fermented water and a fine white dust that covers your hair, your lungs and your skin. But here's the game changer. In 2026, the demand for local starch is skyrocketing because importing it is too expensive. You aren't selling food, you are selling a raw material to the pharmaceutical, the paper and the textile industries. You are a factory owner covered in flour, and the return on investment is just too staggering. But while cassava fits the stomach, our next business fits the beast of industry, the generators and trucks that keep the city running. I'm talking about used oil recycling, the black gold flip. Mechanic shops are filthy. The ground is soaked in oil. Because of this, most people see an environmental hazard. But you, as an industrial fuel supplier, you see it differently. You don't need a multi-million-dollar refinery. You just need a collection network. Factories, bakeries, and cement kilns buy this dirty oil because it burns hot and it's a fraction of the cost of diesel. You are a middleman in a black oily suit and your inventory is something people usually pay to get rid of. Speaking of dirty things factories need, have you ever looked at the plastic floating in a swamp and seen a $1,000 a ton product? Let's go to number 10. Used plastic pelletizing, the gutter mine. Picking bottles is for scavengers. Pelletizing is for the wealthy. Global brands like Coca-Cola and Nestle are desperate for recycled content to meet 2026 sustainability goals. They don't want the dirty bottles, they want the pellet. If you can wash and shred that ugly plastic into clean uniform pellets, you have a product that sells in dollars. You are cleaning the continent and getting paid like a tech CEO. So let's go to number 11. Sawmill dust, the invisible utility. Sawdust is the ultimate annoyance business. It gets in your eyes, it's a fire hazard. So sawmills want it gone as soon as possible. Now you are the logistics king. You go and get it. Guess who needs it? The poultry farmers. Because the poultry industry is booming. Every chicken in Africa needs a dry floor. You collect the waste for almost free or even free in some cases from the sawmills and you sell it to poultry farmers by the truckload. You have zero material cost. Think about that for a second as we go to number 12. Charcoal briquettes, the soot empire. Making charcoal briquettes from agricultural waste is physically punishing. You'll be black from head to toe. But here's the problem. Gas prices in 2026 are a nightmare for the average family. So if you don't mind getting black from head to toe, this is your business. You are selling the cheapest energy alternative. You take trash coconut shells, corn cobs, sawdust, compress it all, and sell it as premium long-burning fuel. It's dirty, but it's smokeless and it's 100% recession-proof. When gas prices go up, your profit goes up. This takes us to number 13. Scrap metal, the Iron Throne. This isn't about picking up soda cans. This is about industrial decommissioning. The people who don't mind getting into this dirty business buy old factory machines, broken down trailers, car gearbox that are now bad, knock down car engines and abandoned ships. You buy the junk by the pieces, which is very cheap, and sell metal by the ton, which is very expensive. The global demand for iron and copper is insatiable. You aren't a scavenger, you are an industrial supplier to the steel mills. Now to number 14, livestock transportation, the logistical nightmare. Spending 48 hours in a truck with 50 stressed out cows is not a business, it's an ordeal. The smell, the noise, and the constant stress of the road. Why do it? Because you are moving protein from the north, where it's cheap, to the south, where people are starving for it. Here's the secret. The price gap is so wide that one successful trip can pay for the truck's entire maintenance for a year. It's a high-stake gamble with a massive payout. Now this is it. Number 15. The Dead Man's Empire. Second-hand clothing. Okrika, Mitumba. It's dusty, it's chaotic, it's crowded. But let me tell you something. This is Africa's real fashion industry. The wealth isn't in the quantity, it's in the selection. If you find 5 grade A designer labels in a single bale, your profit is secured. You are selling the dream of luxury to people who can only afford the price of ugly. What business can beat that? Now 15 businesses. None of them pretty, all of them essential. The pride tax is a real thing. If you are too clean to do the work, you are too proud to be wealthy. Now let's hear from you in the comments. Which of these ugly parts will you choose? Which one do you want us to make a full video about? Let me know. One last thing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.